Customer service representatives handle dozens of calls every shift. When a new product launches with severe defects, the phones start ringing continuously. Angry customers are shouting, metrics are dropping, and the pressure is immediate. In these moments, giving employees a binder of policies to memorize falls short. Telling a stress representative exactly what to say in a quiet classroom does not guarantee they will remember it when a caller is actively demanding a refund. To bridge the gap between classroom theory and real-world execution, we can use the CCAF framework: context, challenge, activity, and feedback. This method deliberately introduces necessary friction into the learning process. By following these 4 steps, you can draft a functional, rapid prototype that gives learners the practice they need to feel confident on the floor. Step 1 is defining the context. This diagram maps the 4 categories of the learner's operational environment. First is the general context. We define where this specific task falls in their daily workflow, its ultimate purpose, and how often they will perform it. Second is the emotional context. We evaluate the internal stress the learner faces. In our call center, they are operating under strict calls per hour quotas and managing the anxiety of dealing with unhappy people. Third, we identify the triggers. These are specific environmental cues, like a hostile tone of voice, that alert the representative they need to apply their training. Finally, the physical context catalogs the actual tools they use, including dual monitors, databases, and telephone headsets. By establishing all 4 parts of the context, you ensure the training environment accurately mirrors the precise conditions the learner will face on the job. Now we move to step 2, setting the challenge. Your learners need a concrete, real-world goal to accomplish during the training. A passive goal, like understanding the de-escalation process, gives them nothing to measure. A concrete challenge is asking them to successfully handle 3 irate customers in a row without escalating the calls. With the challenge set, step 3 is building the activity. When starting this phase, avoid spending time on polished graphic design. This layout is an ugly prototype. It is a fast, highly effective way to sketch out scenario-based learning. Crude shapes and basic text allow you to focus entirely on the learning mechanics. The scenario starts with an inciting incident. The customer's dialogue immediately establishes hostility, serving as the trigger we defined earlier. Instead of a generic multiple-choice quiz, the learner must read nuanced dialogue options. They have to decide which exact phrase correctly applies the validate, diffuse, and assist method, or if they need to refer the call to a supervisor. Placing this activity in an e-learning module works well for an initial walkthrough. It allows the learner to become familiar with the interface and the de-escalation process at their own pace. But a screen cannot simulate the visceral tension of real human conflict. A heated argument involves unpredictable emotional reactions. A click-based module cannot replicate. To truly prepare the learner for the pressure of the job, live role-play must eventually be integrated into the activity. Practicing with another person introduces the necessary emotional resistance. Whether digital or live, the activity phase requires you to prioritize functional decision-making and realistic friction over high-end aesthetics. This brings us to step 4, designing the feedback loop. Standard modules often rely on a text box that pops up to say correct or incorrect. In a simulation of human interaction, this breaks the realism. Instead, apply the principle of show, don't tell. Let the consequences of the learner's actions play out exactly as they would in reality. This animated heat meter shows the direct result of a poor dialogue choice. If the learner selects an aggressive response, the gauge rapidly fills with red, showing the customer's escalating anger. You can adopt this for analog role plays as well. An actor playing the customer can hold a set of physical heat cards, handing them over as the learner successfully de-escalates the situation. Consequence-based visual feedback forces the learner to adjust their strategy in real time. It accurately mirrors the unpredictability of a live conversation. By walking through context, challenge, activity, and feedback, we've replaced a static list of rules with a dynamic, scenario-driven experience. Your immediate next step is to take your ugly prototype and test it. Run the logic past a subject matter expert to ensure the dialogue and consequences are accurate before moving into final production. You will likely find that effective training requires less overall content than you initially thought, provided the details you include are highly relevant to the daily workflow. By focusing on active challenges rather than passive listening, you equip your learners with the practical experience they need to step onto the floor with confidence.